the big engagements, probably big engagement that we've seen, I guess, until now, it's been stronger for the Snipers. That's a nice cocoon landing on towards Mistake, but the fact is they're strangling them. They continue this split push with Rengar. It looks very similar to match number 1.
Yeah, and it comes down to the, doesn't matter if you win in 50 minutes or 150 minutes, as long as you win the game. And I guess that's the mindset that TPS has right here. Still see Zonda just pressuring away over towards his top, so the turret hasn't dropped that much lower, but we do see, I believe, a fight breaking out middle.
Wow, and just see there's the unstoppable force coming down. This time it looks good for them though, as we see the ultimate hour of Varus has started to spread their wins. Is he going to escape? No, he's not. Godjj had to cleanse to actually back away. And that is a 2-for-1. Both supports going down. The jungler from the Snipers going in as well. And those kills start to spread around. Malphite now 2-0-2, 3-1-1 on Chowie's Varus as well. That was much needed.
Yeah, even though they're 6,000 or 6,000 to 7,000 gold behind, as long as they hit their combo perfectly with that Malphite, with that Varus ultimate, then they can win these fights, and they proved it right there. So TPS had to be a little bit more cautious now going in for these fights. And that's just not looking out of it just yet. I mean, they're starting to get the items they need built up here. It's going to take them a couple more of those fights, a couple more of those wins to really gain control.
Yeah, I was almost distracted from that fight there in middle, just watching Zonda diving on Shen. Sorry, on Renekton. It'd be impressive if he dove on Shen. He'd have to go an entire game back to do that one. But diving onto Renekton, walking into the brush, and pretty much doing the same over and over and over again to him. And you can see he's completely bullying Ben out of that one. Meanwhile, Super Mega Death Rocket going through. Malphite not going to be caught out by that one, but the inner turret has now gone down. And Renekton was thinking about recalling there, but Zonda's not giving this one up.
Yeah, the thing is, right, SGS with this Renekton versus that Shen, well, we do see actually Chowie can offer a gank on a Zonda, but he has his ultimate available.
Yeah, he should be really careful here, Chowie, actually, because he could actually end up going down, and Zonda is going to run through. He is actually invisible there, but he's going to be caught out finally. A lot of damage coming his way, but look how strong he is. Flashes actually off to the side. Finished off, though, by Hallelujah as he sinks in those fans. But on the bottom side, TPS are pushing there as well. And again, we saw that in game number 1. How many times did Zonda draw almost the entire team away so that the rest of the Snipers could push somewhere else?
And that's just, they were finally responding to it very well, going for the fight middle that they had when they won that one. And right there, maybe just choosing the wrong of 2 choices, going for the kill onto him. But luckily this time, instead of ganking him and letting him escape, they had an Oracle finally onto Kaylin. They were able to pick up that kill. They were able to stop that. And that allows Ben to, push out that lane and then start to group up with his team.
There's a lot of gold to spend here. 1,700 there for Gragas, 1,100 on Rengar. Who's now finished off that Spirit Visage, and the Rabadon's Death Cap done as well. Mistakes also running the Oracle, so they're going to try and get back vision control.
I like how Nex actually just finally picked up boots. Just tier 1 boots. He went for straight AP. He's like, you know what? I can roll around really quickly. I want the AP. I want to be bursty right now. And a lot of big items completed. I mean, like you said, Infinity Edge, Spirit Visage, Sunfire Cape, like so many major key items coming in here for TPS that even though they just lost that little bit of engagement with Zonda dying top lane, they can probably force the same thing again. They're leaving Zonda top lane yet again here, and they're gripping the middle.
Yeah, Zonda will be pushing all the way through here again. He's not messing around at this point. That bottom lane being defended by Chowie, but they know then that means that Zonda's got pretty much free reign on the top because they've got a couple of pink wards in the enemy jungle. They can see exactly where everyone is, who's crossing over. Zonda here would have free reign on that middle turret, but he's actually going to go in and try and back up the team, maybe even get in around the backside of SGS at this point as well.
They see him, they have wards down to spot him coming in. They don't have an Oracle though, it ran out, so we're going to see the engage come out of TPS.
Who are they going to go on to though? He actually dives in on towards Cryonics, and that's not really the target that they'd be looking for. The Lantern comes out, they get back off to safety, but Snipers here are now all grouped up, and look at that, a blue buff. Something that TPS have controlled the entire game. I think 1, maybe 2 maximum have gone the way of Cryonics, but they steal it away once again, and they're going to keep control of the Dragon.
And I think Cryonics is wondering what a blue buff is anymore at this point. They're trying to counter push here by giving away the Dragon and going for a middle turret, but TPS doesn't need a lot of people at Dragon to finish it off. They have Zonda there, they have Wins there, and they're sending the rest of the team over to defend this turret, but we do have that Malphite ultimate available. They could go for a fight here. But TPS actually just going to back away. They're going to let this one go.
Yeah, Dragon goes down. They lose their turret. Seem to have conceded that fact that they won't be able to get any more out of it. Currently no Oracle, by the way, for SGS. So no one able to clear out the vision that the Snipers had started to put up there. A few of those walls have now actually gone down, though, on the top side by Baron.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's kind of a snowball for supports, where Mistake, because he was able to, you know, get those early assists and get that early, the early vision control, get the early oracles, the pink wards, he was able to make it so his team could keep picking up kills, and from that, pick up more assists and keep some gold coming in. But on SGS's side, Kaling, he went for the Oracle. They were able to get a kill off of it, but that was about it. They weren't able to accomplish much more, and from that, he kind of sunk 400 gold into pretty much just a kill for his team. So he's hurting very much on gold, and you see it reflected in their totals, where Mistake is 5,500 pretty much to the 4,100 of Kaling.
Yeah, that's a big differential. And a good amount of gold across the board once again to spend. 1,300 for Gragas, 1,200 for Jinx to head back home with. And Godjj farming out the Wraiths will make that even more. So, and again, drawing parallels to game number 1 here, that the Snipers are not making any rash decisions. They're not really just jumping in there for the sake of fighting one because they know they're ahead. They're picking their engagements really carefully. Be pretty defensive when not.
Yeah, they're actually being very... Oh, we do see actually a flash engage.
Yeah, gonna go in there. Next actually falling really low, but he did manage to escape for a while. Throws down his ultimate. Actually did escape with his life as well. Now, Hallelujah, the one that's surely gonna go down. Zonda dives in onto him. There is a double kill from Jinx, and she gets that speed boost after picking up the kills, which is gonna mean that she can follow through completely. A triple kill it ends up with, and that was a 3 for nothing in the end. Nexus Barrel pushing his chasers away. They might go for Baron.
That was such a great job by Nex, too, because he didn't give them the kill. He was able to stay alive, made them commit so much. The flash, you know, Cocoon, the ultimate coming out of Malphite, and he still did not die. And from this, like you just said, they're going to get Baron. And TPS, I'm seeing like a complete difference within the teams compared to Europe and here, is that even though TPS was ahead, they played it very cautious. They didn't get cocky at all. They didn't feel like, oh, you know, we have a couple of throws you could probably do here. They played it safe the entire time, and from that, they're going to take a Baron, and they're going to take a 10,000 gold lead.
Godjj again, 6-1-2, and he's got 2,700 gold to actually spend. That not being enough. He's trying to have a go at Chowie, and he's going to get spotted here. Chompers actually go down, but he needs to run away from this. Piercing arrow comes in, and he might actually fall from it. Chowie's got his flash available. There is a flash coming out. Well, here's the rest of the team. Is he going to be baited? Ooh, close. Godjj, you know, he's lost his flash just because of that, but here comes Zonda from the side. They're going to go towards Hallelujah, and it's all a little bit messy, the fighting here.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it's just they wanted to make something happen, and Godjj almost got caught out. But luckily, he had his team behind him, and this goes back to what I said before. They're staying really calm, really collected, and very cautious. They're not going for any fights where they don't feel like they can for sure win them 100%. And, you know, look on Chronic's side. Compared to that last game, he had many items finished at this point. He had at least his DFG done, sorry, with that Athene's Unholy Grail. And his ultimate, it's given him an entrance into these fights, but they haven't been able to combo perfectly with that Vars ultimate ever since the fight we saw earlier on.
Nice split pushing Rengar, now 50 CS in the lead. You see how that one has grown for him over time. Actually, Rengar recalling, no, spots that, Renekton recalling, spots that Rengar is still in lane actually, and decides I should probably stick around because at this stage now, that turret actually will go down really quickly. Meanwhile, the rest of the team pushing the bottom side, and again, the carpet of walls just covering the SGS jungle is pretty immense.
Yeah, and Mistake with the Oracle himself, he's clearing out any vision to kind of counter that, and they're just keeping this up. This is exactly what they did in game 1. Let Zonda split push. The rest of the team just group up in another lane here and just kind of not engage when they don't have to. But right now, we see Genk coming top side. Zonda, he has ultimate available. How he is showing himself there, it gives the opportunity for TPS to push somewhere else.
They've got Baron on as well. You'd expect them maybe to make more plays from this one. I mean, Baron's already halfway gone. It's only Zonda that's really doing anything at this point with that Baron buff. Wow. Heals everything back. That must be slightly concerning as well from SGS's side of things when you know your Renekton can do the damage, or what little that he can do, then gets healed all the way back up. And look at this, look how many people are on this top side. 3 in the immediate area, 2 coming up from that top side as well. Gragas pushing bottom, but these 3 from the Snipers have not really done anything with their time with this Baron buff on. Yeah, they've just been pushing those lanes up, and right now Nex, he's the one to continue going for it. While we see Zonda yet again sticking topside. He's going to be taking some damage here, but he has his team to back him up. This time Ben is not going to escape it. Godjj picking himself up another one. Actually, has saved the Super Mega Death Rocket here. Might have to use that to finish off Hallelujah, who's going to repel, but is repelling to no man's land. Zonda picks up that kill, and now the inner turret on that top lane is finished off. And finally, that Baron buff is being called into action. Yeah, and they have 4 men to push this top turret. Zonda, does he care at all? And it looks like no. I mean, that turret's falling very quickly. You still see Nex on that minimap pushing bottom. And this is going to be the first inhibitor going down to the game. The thing is, if Nex pushes mid up as well, they're going to time this one absolutely to perfection to come into the mid lane as well and have a go. And there it is. Minions start to come in, and the Snipers move in position. They've bided their time here with that Baron buff on. Zonda really being the tanky front man who can heal himself completely. And he's the one that's just zoning them completely out of this fight. There's no one that's willing to get in there and stop this push. And look at that bottom, almost being just as perfectly timed. And just in one swoop, they're trying to get all 3 inhibitors down, and it's all in the back of Zonda. I mean, just like you said, he's tanking so much damage, and he's healing it up, and he's being such a nuisance towards the top side. He's just sitting in the base, farming up these minions, so SGS has to respond. Minions all starting to flow into the base. He's still just farming away. On the top side is like middle's clear, top's clear. Okay, where
Nexus
do I go
turrets,
now? Back
those aren't clear yet.
Back to middle, nope. Nexus turret, just gonna hammer away on them.
And he has his ultimate escape too at the same time with that flash. And SGS, they have to go for a fight here or they're gonna lose their base.
Well, it's not the most spectacular of strategies. The split push strategy that honestly is a bit of a bane sometimes in League of Legends to watch, but the execution here from the Taipei Snipers is right on the mark, though. Nex here might be getting himself caught out. Well, flash, there is the unstoppable force onto Godjj. He's got hooks as well. The disengage from the Gragas barrel, all well and good, but they've lost the AD carry. Zonda coming around the side. Cryonics is not going to be able to escape, and that leaves us at a 4 versus 3. Hallelujah gets away. Ben pops his Dominus, but he's got a lot of damage to do to pick up kills. Zonda going low. Will he finally fall? No, he's still alive. He's still going from that one. Wins will die, and now Mistake chased away from the base. Not all that bad from SGS. Look at Zonda. He's still there. He's still fancying his chances from this one. Look at the massive heal that he gets as well. Ben goes away on the Lantern. Crazy, crazy stuff. Unkillable, a couple of these guys.
And he flashed in there to go for the kill on the Zonda, but he baited him in perfectly right there. And that was so much committed out of SGS side. You saw the ultimate come out of Malphite and the flash pull out of Kaylin, able to pick up the kill on the Godjj, and you wonder, if they weren't able to burst him down right there, that fight would have been it. TPS would have won.
He just bought a Trinity Force, as you do, completely outright. I think he was sat on about 4k gold by the end of that one. Gragas also had a lot of gold, and now has another needlessly large rod in there with a Void Staff Athenes and the Rabadon's Death Cap. The AD carry Jinx 7-2-5 at this point for Godjj. Infinity Edge, Banshee's Veil, Static Shiv, plus the Last Whisper, and guessing that's going to be a Bloodthirster to finish things off.
I feel like TPS said to him, you don't have to buy Banshee's Veil until you get caught once and die. And then you have to build it. And he got caught right there, and they're like, all right, you have to do it. You can't keep building damage. We don't want to throw this game at all. And that Banshee's Veil coming in, that means the Subtle Force won't be able to hit it. What do they have to poke it down with? And luckily they do have a Varus who can hit him with that piercing arrow to stop it, but that means Chowie has to get in a really bad position that he could get caught from.
Oh, look at this. They're setting up a bit of a bait. Mistake with the Oracle. I'm just clearing out wards. The rest just waiting inside of that brush. We've got 5 seconds till Baron comes up. TPS have got a perfect timer on that one. Zonda doesn't care about Baron. He's more about everything else.
He's a one-man team.
Yeah, he is a one-man team. Oh, actually going to get caught out by the Chaining Corruption and the Cocoon. But can you finish him off? Can you, Ek? He just walks away from that one. He's like, yeah, solid. Back up to full HP. How many ultimates did you just throw at me? Okay, 1 at least. That's not bad. I'm just going to push back up. And the rest of the team in that time, by the way, did finish off Baron. And now they're coming for your base.
And what's stopping them? I mean, right now, SGS, they need to be able to group up and force them into a choke point so they can hit that Malphite ultimate. But with those inhibitors being down, they can't make that happen. Zonda pushing that wave up, and now TPS, they can take that turn anytime they want.
Oh, the Chomper's coming down
to
try and zone them. Actually, Zonda is going in there, as you said, doing a lot of damage to Chowie, but they're throwing everything back that they've got at him here. There is the heal coming out. He is still alive. He's actually going to walk away from it once again. Super Mega Death Rocket. Barrel will explode 3 of them. A triple kill coming down for Nex, and the inhibitor is going to fall, and this could well be the end of the game. Chowie getting caught out, does get back to the fountain in time, but this is the Taipei Snipers pushing straight through here. The Nexus turret's not going to put up much of a fight. The Nexus itself goes down, and they'll take down the Singapore Sentinels for a place in the semi-final.
Wow, just so well done. The entire game, both of them. It was so strategic. It was based off of chess pretty much, and they were able to execute everything perfectly, even with a couple of mishaps. Zonda on that Rengar. We wondered, should we see a Rengar ban coming out of SGS? And I think after that one, yeah, because they had no answer for him at all.
Well, that's the funny thing. The first time that we saw him actually run with Rengar in GPL was against SGS, and they actually lost that game. They then went on to play the Saigon Fantastic 5 with Rengar again in the top lane, won that one, and then both of these games with Rengar, like, I think after game number 1, Rengar probably should have been banned.
Yeah, it's like, you wonder what can stop him, and maybe like Shyvana would be like the one champion you can put up there, but that thing is constantly banned out. And coming into tomorrow's games, TPS, I'm not sure if they're looking beatable at this point. I mean, that was just so convincing. It wasn't flashy, but it got the job done.
Yeah, not looking beatable just yet. However, they have a bit of a tough test in the next round. They're going to be going up against IG. Now, this is a team that have not had the best of times recently on the domestic scene in China, but they're a team, and like all Chinese teams that ever travel anywhere to an esports event, they have a massive, massive hunger to win. There's a bit of a team photo coming out for the Snipers, and well deserved, to be honest. We said it, you know, game number 1, it started off slow, as did game number 2, but they both ended, and they both looked very clear as to which way they were going from that mid-game status.
I do like SGS, though, what they did. They found a couple of areas that they could fight from, and when they did, they were able to execute it and would get a couple of kills, but then it came back to that old answer. That question, can we stop Zonda? And they still didn't have a response to that, but still, both teams played very well the entire time, and SGS, they didn't give up. They kept trying to make something work, and fortunately, it didn't work out for them, but it's great to see.
Incredible performance. As I said, that sets us up for that semi-final tomorrow against IG. Of course, the other semi-final also decided. That's going to be CJ Enters Frost taking on the Saigon Jokers.
I'm curious to see what happened in those games.
Me too, because apparently, although we didn't sadly get to see that game, apparently it was a very one-sided game with the Saigon Jokers coming out on top of that one. Picked up a pentakill as well in the second game of that one, yeah, with Lucian. So it seems like the Saigon Jokers in form. That's a good sign for us, because Frost are going to be pretty scary to go up against tomorrow, that's for sure.
Not to mention having McNoon in that mid lane. I'm really curious to see what he's going to be able to pull out here. He's always really well known for top lane, but Frost, I mean, we talk about, you know, TPS looking unbeatable. They've been looking fantastic lately, and Saigon Jokers, honestly, if I were to look at that game between them and TPA, I would have assumed that TPA would have won that one. I would have had a favorite on them, but to blow them away like that, that's a great sign. Yeah,
I mean, TPA are doing well themselves. If I just look back to my stats here, actually, they're 7 for 2, same record as Snipers actually in the GPL. Jokers 5 wins, 4 losses. So form would dictate that right now that the Assassins are the better team, but a 2-0 victory, and as I said, apparently one-sided victories as well for Saigon Jokers. Certainly turning up here for the Bucks for the Intel Extreme Masters. Now, as I said, that's 2 games coming up tomorrow. We're going to be moving into the Pro semi-finals. Then on Sunday, we'll have something a little bit special. I'm not sure if it's been announced yet, so I'm not going to spoil that one. Plus the grand final of the Pro tournament. There's $50,000 up for grabs in it as well. So make sure you get yourselves tuned in for those semi-final games tomorrow. That's it from us here at the casting desk. But for now, we're going to head on to the main stage where Shox is ready and waiting for an interview.
Thank you very much, Joe. I'm joined here by Mistake of the Taipei Snipers, a support player, of course. And I'd like to ask you, when you went into that game 2 and you saw, hey, we can pick Rengar again, we can pick Gragas again, we can pick Jinx again, what kind of went through the team at that moment?
We just feel like, wow, they didn't ban this pick, so we decided to pick this champion. And we think Gragas and Rengar is most strong champions in top lane and mid lane. So we just picked them. So we can snowball in the early game, and we can try to stop them to do push tower or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very methodical, taking the Singapore Sentinels down. And I want to ask you, of course, remember you from when you became the Season 2 champions with TPA. Now in TPS, how strong do you feel this team is right now?
We changed our jungle players into the wins, TPS wins, and we think he is very strong, and he can make some early strategy to play, and his mechanic is very good, and we think we can play more aggressive play style in the early game, and we hope we can do much better than Season 3.
Yeah, well, you guys show that you have a very good lineup right now versus Singapore Sentinels here. But of course, tomorrow, a great test versus the Chinese powerhouse Invictus Gaming. How are you going into that one?
We feel like very exciting because IG is very strong China team, and we hope we can beat them, and we think we can do it.
Well, thank you very much. Congratulations. We'll be looking forward to that semifinal, of course. And an applause once more for Taipei Snipers. Thank you very much. And as for us, that will do it for our League of Legends broadcast here today. Of course, we'll be back tomorrow with the semifinals of the Pro Tournament, as the Saigon Jokers will be going up against CJ Entus Frost, and the Taipei Snipers will take on Invictus Gaming. We'll see you tomorrow.